Hi everyone, welcome to Module 4. In Module 4, you're going to be reading Chapters 6 and 7. I have various articles and videos for you to review. I think you'll find them very helpful. You have your MyEconLab work that's due for this week and discussion board number 4. In discussion board number 4, it's important that you have an in-text citation and reference in APA formatting to support your efforts. That's very important because we need that to ensure that you're providing where you got your information from. If you need any assistance with that, please let me know, as I'm more than willing to provide additional resources. Now, for this week, we're going to look at one market structure, which is called a perfectly competitive market. A perfectly competitive market is a market with many buyers and sellers selling identical products with no barriers. These firms are classified as a price taker. That means that they physically will take the market price that's been established in the market. And it's very important to evaluate this price taker because this makes it very challenging for them to raise prices that are established. There are many examples of this type of market structure that we focus on. The characteristics are many buyers and sellers, like we discussed. The products are identical or homogeneous. There's no barriers, and both buyers and sellers are price takers. Now, when you look at this market, it makes it very tough for them to actually bring about any market changes. And what that means is it's for them to bring in changes in the market in terms of pricing is very difficult for them. Now, this is the firm, or this is the market structure that the firm's going to be facing. It's going to be facing a downward sloping demand curve. This is the market firm or of the monopolist. A perfectly competitive firm will be facing a horizontal demand curve. When we look at a horizontal demand curve, we're looking at a demand curve where it doesn't matter how many units they sell, they're all going to be at the same price. When you look at this table, it's going to describe the types of market structures that are available, examples, and the characteristics. This will be a very helpful thing for you to evaluate because you'll find it'll be very helpful to make sure to pinpoint what we're looking at for this week. When we look at a firm's decision in this market structure, you'll notice that the fixed costs are going to be identical. And you notice when we look at this, fixed costs are going to be identical and the variable costs are going to be changing. So we have to evaluate the cost of both the firm's operations to make better decisions in the market. Let's go to one of the graphs. When we look at the graph right here, we're going to look at, here is the marginal revenue equals marginal revenue equals price equals demand equals average revenue. Where you want to focus on every market structure is where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, which is right here at point A. This is the profit maximizing or minimizing loss that we want to focus on. All firms will produce at this output level. Now, when we look at this market structure, the thing that we want to focus on is marginal revenue equals marginal cost right here. Draw a line straight down at the profit maximizing level. They charge a price of $10 and they make it for $7.87. So you notice at the profit maximizing level, they make about, let's say 12 and 8, $4 a unit, and they sell 8 shirts. So that's how you'd figure that out. That right there would be a profit. Now let's look at what's going on in this graph. So first thing we want to do, MR equals MC at this point A right here. Draw a line straight up. Here's the cost to produce it. Here's the cost right here that they're selling it at. You notice in this situation that it's costing about $7.50 to make it. They're selling it for $4. So that's going to be a loss of about $3.50. $3.50 times 4 is the amount of the loss. If you ever get asked what is the example or what is the total cost, $7.50 times 4 is total cost. Total revenue would be 4 times 4. That'd be total revenue. Now let's go to the next market structure. which is a monopoly. A monopoly is a market structure. A monopoly is a market structure where there is one firm in the market that doesn't have any close substitutes. You'll notice that the government will get involved in a monopoly, and when we look at a monopoly, you'll notice the government gets involved because a monopoly has full control over the market, and the government will regulate a monopoly. So when we look at a monopoly, you'll see there's no close substitutes, extremely high barriers to entry and exit in the market, and given these high barriers, it's going to create a lot of challenges. And these challenges of the market will be based off of the lack of competition. And when we look at the lack of competition present, that will create much higher prices that could be available in the market. Monopolies will have what's called market power. Market power is the ability of a monopoly to charge prices that they're willing to charge. They will have barriers to entry that will be present in the market. Barriers to entry will make it very challenging for people to enter the market. Examples of some types of monopolies are a patent, a trademark, a copyright. Those are good examples of monopolies. And when we look at monopolies, you're noticing that they have the ability to produce that no one else is able to do. And that creates a lot of opportunities in the market. You also know monopolies have what's called a network externality. And they value the product to a consumer, and it increases when more consumers are able to consume the product. And the consumption of the product is very important in this market structure. Then we have what's called natural monopolies. Natural monopolies are monopolies in which it's very good if the monopolies are larger. In terms of the more larger these monopolies are, they benefit firms to be able to produce at lower cost. You notice right here the demand and the marginal revenue do not equal each other as they do in other market structures. And given that the demand does not equal marginal revenue, they're going to have to lower the price to sell an additional unit. This is different than perfect competition. In perfect competition, you notice that marginal revenue equals demand. Now, if we look at this graph, this is a monopoly graph. With a monopoly graph, the same thing you want to identify, MR equals MC, right here at point A. At point A, you draw a line straight up. You want to find the price that you're going to charge, which is right here at the market demand, which is $15, and the output level, which is 900. The cost to produce is right here at 8. So it costs them $15 in terms of the price that they sell it at. They're making it for $8. That's a $7 per unit profit, and they sell 900 units. To find that, you multiply 7 times 900. Another way you can calculate it is, what's the total revenue? 15 times 900. What's the total cost? 8 times 900. When we look at the total revenue and total costs, you notice we're looking at a lot of challenges that we're facing in the market. And monopolies have the ability to be what's called a price maker. Monopolies select the prices that they're willing to charge in the market. Given that monopolies are able to select the prices that they want in the market, they create a lot more opportunities in the market. And that's very important to evaluate. Now, an example of a type of a monopoly that we could look at. A monopoly you'll be looking at is what we call a patent. A patent is the exclusive right to produce a product given an idea. When we look at a trademark, that is looking at a physical company that they produce something in terms of a logo. Like Coca-Cola's logo is trademark. Apple's logo is trademark. That is a patent. Another example of a patent would be a drug. A drug has a patent for a certain number of years, which gives the exclusive right for that drug company to produce that drug for a certain number of years. So these are some of the concepts that we're going to be focusing on. If you need any additional resources or have any questions, or if you'd like me to pre-grade any of your work, let me know, and I look forward to your effort.